Good morning. We start open prayer book. All mothers and sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and sweetly will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and sweetly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, and obstacles who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Tangwe doje jajar zondron yunja mada duya ponjam ba surja lombo dabra jibeka shakje jabe jabdang zanzar dorje janje delo naro dam marpa mala chuje gambo ba pamodre ba javan dugong ba Kaju lama namje da jonje dananda nazara namje da lama laba laye jizozon losam yonden jamze ngala wan dende tonjin rebe kele zor da ke lo chusan ro wara sinje labdo zor Chua lamdan rawara sinja labdo za lam truwa sevara sinja labdo ngolo gorda どうぞ。Good morning. We are going to generate bodhicitta, and the bodhicitta has different way of practice. So today we are going to practice how to say, it's like a king. These are king of king of bodhicitta. So that is actually Amitabha Buddha. He did that. He says, due to his practice, and then if it has a benefit for mother sentient beings, then he says, may I become Buddha. And after I become Buddha, then who supplicates me? Who supplicates me means Amitabha Buddha, okay? Who supplicate to Amitabha Buddha, and then they will rebuild Pure Land. Amitabha Pure Land is a very special Pure Land, and Amitabha Pure Land has no any names of suffering. So after we rebuild Amitabha's Pure Land, then we became Bodhisattva, and then all of our activities through the three doors, body, speech, and mind, all of these activities are virtues. There's no any names of suffering. If there is no any names of suffering, then there is no any cause of suffering. So the cause of suffering is non-virtues. And then who rebirth Amitabha's Pure Land, and then slowly become Buddha from the Amitabha's Pure Land. So that is a very unique, very special Pure Land. So then Amitabha, he established his commitment. So that's where right now we don't want to doubt. Oh, if I supplicate to Amitabha Buddha, can we rebirth his Pure Land or not? We don't want to doubt. Doubt is not good. Similar, and we are commitment. Now we generate a bodhicitta, and then we think, may I become Buddha, or may I become Bodhisattva for the sake of mother sentient beings. So we are going to think like that. That is the practice of the bodhicitta as a king. So king means first who become king, and then help to the his kingdom or his people, right? So we already become as a shepherd, right? But today we want to become like a king. So if we think, oh, only me may I become Buddha, just think like that, then this has a very small power. Actually, this is a virtuous, good motivation, but there's no that much power. It's like in the night, like a star. Stars we just see in the sky, but they can't help us well when we go to through darkness, right? If we become Bodhisattva, then we become like a moon, like the moon in the night. Still will help. Sometimes we don't have a flashlight and something, the moon help us. And then we become Buddha. If we become Buddha, then we are like the sun, and then we can remove all the darkness. Then mother sentient beings' eyes is useful, right? Because of the sun's light, sun's ray or something. So we are generate kind of this bodhicitta today. And then next we are going to practice the 9 stages of stabilization. So among them we already practiced 5, 6, 5, yes. Then today we are practice the rest of these 9. Rest of these still remain 4 more stabilizations, 4 more stages. So somebody already asked me. Actually, I answered where we can find these teachings. Somebody asked me, right? So this is actually everywhere we we can find from Dharma teachings, but particularly this is Abhidharma Kosha text. You can find this. And then today's our practice is subtle pacification. Subtle pacification. The subtle pacification. Basically, this is same like yesterday we meditate. Same thing. The only this is like yesterday also I made example like a car. If you drive car and you are going too fast, like a speed limit, maybe 70 over the 70 or 75, then you have to accelerate, right? This is the same thing. You are going through this. You are going to progress. You are going to progress. So subtle pacification is basically same idea like yesterday we meditate. And then here, if you are, I believe, but just I say, if you are great meditator, yeah, you are, but just, and then you absolutely you have this subtle agitation, subtle how to say this dullness or drowsiness. These 2 obstacles definitely have. So that's where now we are focused on this bell, same thing, and then just you softly focus on this bell, and then just keep your mind here as much as you can. Keep here, and then today you give more job to your how to say that? That's called awareness, your wisdom. You give more job to your wisdom. Your wisdom watch whenever arise like agitations from your mind and any different thoughts arise from your mind, the awareness notice that. So even though today you just don't focus about the grossly of thoughts. Grossly of thoughts are like, oh, today's weather is nice, like, or somebody coughing and sound is pretty loud. These things are we pretty easily conquer that, but today you do focus more subtle obstacles. Whenever arise, very subtle. So that's where subtle pacification. You know, right? Pacification means. So whenever this arise, and then you try to purify that. Okay. Yes. Now seventh. Today we are doing pretty fast. So that is the seventh is the seventh stage called total pacification. Total pacification. This is a little different than the first one. The sixth one is subtle pacification. I already taught, so you understood about that. And then the seventh is you are going to focus more about thoughts. So total pacification. How to total pacification? In order to your thoughts, if you purify grossly of thoughts, still subtle thoughts often arise from your mind. So first, during the subtle pacification, you just conquer, just you avoid them, like that things. But now, you don't want to try to conquer those thoughts. Just you look at thoughts, and then thoughts is like waves of ocean, and your nature state of mind is like an ocean. So these waves just came from ocean, about to dissolve into the ocean. After then, we say, this is a wave, so this is ocean. We cannot separate. Similar, just your thoughts are waves of your ocean of mind. So that's very important to know. And then you just look at thoughts. You don't follow thoughts. You look at thoughts. That is how to do the total pacification. So you can pacify totally these thoughts. So you just look at the thoughts. You don't follow thoughts. If you follow thoughts, then thoughts lead different ways. And then we follow thoughts, and then thoughts give us lots of sufferings and unhappy things. So this is also in physically, for example. Sometimes physically we have different disease. If I am hurt my shoulder, then thoughts, if I follow thoughts, then thoughts, I am hurt, or my shoulder is hurt. So this connect with my mind through this way, then I am hurt. So then how to total pacify or purify is, when I hurt on my shoulder, just look at that. Don't try to remove these hurts. Don't try to accept these hurts. Feeling of hurts. The accept means, I am hurt. That means I accept. I don't want to, I'm hurt, so I don't want this. That is, we try to reject. Don't try to reject, don't try to accept. Just look on there. Just look at this feeling of hurt. Same thing, any kind of thoughts arise, you just focus on there. Don't reject that thoughts. Don't adopt that thoughts. So your responsibility is just keep your mind on that thoughts. So then these thoughts, in order to just the waves of the ocean of your mind, so just dissolve in your mind. So now let us do that. Sorry. So this number 7, the total pacification. This is also useful whenever you are angry with someone. So you think, oh, I'm angry at that person because that person made that and those and this. Then first that person made you angry, and then you your definitions, your explain about that person's mistakes, then that makes more angry. Then your angry emotion become like a ash, and then like a strong. It's very strong. So when somebody made you angry, at that moment you look at the angry emotion. So this is how to total pacification, angry emotion. How to totally pacify. So you look at the angry emotion, then angry emotion naturally is loose. Actually, angry emotion is collect all the breath together is area of the heart, and then just every gathering here is very strong. And then first it is strong, still then we make more strong because we explain about these things, and then that makes lots of disease and lots of problems, right? Even though you are very strongly angry to someone, at that moment it's a block your wisdom. Then you cannot see the way of solve the problems. Only you think what you think from your mind is harsh words, and destroy. You think I'm going to destroy that, like those things. So you just look at your angry emotion. Then if this is angry emotion, when you focus on the angry emotion, then angry emotion getting loose, little bit loose. And then slowly your breath just transform through your channels. And something go in the head, something go to the lower body. And then angry emotion has not that much power. And then your awareness just comes back. And then see which way is good to solve these problems. So angry emotion. And then attachment. When you feel desire with someone, you just look at the desire. Then desire, naturally the desire also, the power of desire getting loose. Then jealous, same thing. And then other all of things when you which emotion would you like to purify? That is depend with you, right? And some emotions maybe need, so I cannot say you are going to purify that. Sorry. And then number 8, the single-pointed attention. Actually, we are reached this number 8. That is a really higher level. Actually, we reached a higher stage. So this single-pointed attention, that is when we focus with this object, for example. And then you still have to little efforts. Right now we are going to efforts, right? If I don't efforts for focus on there, it's not easy. At least first I am going to keep a little bit body posture and in order to I am going to prepare something and then focus. That is still called the efforts. We are doing efforts for attention to to focus on there. So still we have efforts and we are going to efforts. But at this moment, let you know there, if you are familiar the other, this number 1 to number 7, you are very familiar on there, then you get special benefit physically and mentally, 2 benefits. This is for physically, is in Tibetan Dharma words called Lu Ximjiang. Lu Ximjiang means you are very much free. You can freely use your body for the Dharma. So that means you'll disappear the pain, your knees, disappear all your part of body, and any sounds, those things, grossly of those outside sub-object, they cannot destroy to your focusing, your attention. And so that is physically, for example, elements. Or weather is so cold, that's why today I can't meditate. Not like that. You easily can keep body postures. So that is about the also so happy you are, instead of hurt, instead of pain. It has bliss, it has pleasant, it has happy. It is happy feeling of the body. That will achieve around this 7 and 8. Then Sem Xinjiang means the mind. When you there's a, here says the single pointed attention. You are very easily can focus on the object. When you focus on the object, then your mind is naturally like a joy. You don't want to make it particularly joy. You don't want to make something particularly, you automatically feel joy with that. So then somebody say, please stop to meditate. You stare, oh, that is my favorite. So you will become like that. Are you there? You go there. Okay, now we are ready to. This number 9 is effortless placement. It's sweet, right? Effortless, effortless placement. So this is number 9th of the stage. Basically, we on this stage, you completely achieve the physical, how to say, this like a happiness to meditate, and then mentally also. So effortless means you don't want to efforts for meditate at that stage, and then particularly you don't want to use objects now. You don't need objects. And on this stage, you can stay. Some meditators can stay years, months, weeks, days. Can stay with this meditation. So because they have something deva cheparchi, and that is the Dharma words, the special blessing of the meditation. Special blessing of meditation. That means they have the mind and the body, so that's what they achieve on there. And then at that moment, we don't have thoughts. We have thoughts, that is imprinting of thoughts. Imprinting, makes sense? Yeah, because we still not completely liberate from the samsara, so we have imprinting thoughts. If we make extra thoughts, then we comes back in the samsara. That's one thing. And then on this stage, we can make more merits, accumulate more merits. We accumulate more merits, and then we try to purify this imprinting of the thoughts, and then we are getting more close and close through the bhumis. There are 10 bhumis. That is the path of the enlightened mind. So that's why now, we are going to practice on there. So let us do. We don't have object now. Don't look at this. Now we don't have object. You don't do efforts. See what happened. Thank you. This on this stage, the ninth of stage, we don't have obstacles about the laziness. We already purify through the other stages, and we don't have obstacles of the distractions. So that's where, then that is called effortless placement. Our mind is already familiar on there. And then, but how to meditate, that you have to know. If you have successfully accomplished on there, then your experience tells you how to meditate on the ninth stage of the stabilization. If you are still new, and then at that time you are going to relax. You are going to relax on your mind. Your mind relaxes on your mind. It's similar water pouring into the water. Then next, then water pouring into the water. Similar, you are going to relax on your mind completely at ease, but clearly. So that is the this method. Still, there are lots of instructions about this way, but we have no more time now. It is time to dedication. And first, I confess if I during my teaching, meditation teaching, if my mind is not in the Dharma, then I confess in front of Buddhas and Yidam deities and gurus, and then wonderful Dharma friends in front of you. And also then if I, during my teaching, if I repeat too much or I'm missing something, and so any kind of mistakes, the cause of non-virtues, I purify in front of your meditators, and then due to this practice, then our meditation, then all of these merits gathering, and then we dedicate to all mother sentient beings, and for peace of the peace of the world, happiness of mother sentient beings, and let us dedicate together. Page 9, please. Dorjin Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pamodrupa, and the Lord Ndugungpa, please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessings of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies' wrongdoing. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and the precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities separate far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri, the world realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantha Bhattara, I will follow in their path. and fully dedicate all the merit of all sentient beings. By the blessings of the Buddhas who attain the three kayas, by the blessings of truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit of our share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Ndugungpa Renashiri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root, and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidam and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogis, yoginis, and naginis dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealous not arise in my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind streams be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through them may I become a spiritual master and good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrongdoing. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in case gain supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the Pardo. For these realms encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit, blessed without exception. Tenzin Jamso, you who are one with Avalokiteshvara, may you remain steadfast and samsara, and you are the embodiment of the precious ones. You are a great being and the holder and the promoter of the teaching of the Shakya line. Your perfect actions are for the liberation of sentient beings. May you, the Jesuit Lama, whose enlightened activities are spontaneously present, live long. Precious holder of the triple gem of Ndugungpa, who preserves the undisturbed practice of a profound Dharma, who has realized the sublime truth which reveals peace and illumination. May you who relieves the suffering of limitless beings live long. The one known in the Holy Land as Ayadeva, eminent into the Garchen of Eastern Tibet as Chudingpa, the hard son of Jigten Gumpo, may the life of glorious Garchen remain steadfast for 100 eons. In this age of strife, when the victor teachings face hardship, through his powerful Vajra-like conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbased teaching. May Garchen, the son of the teaching, live long. You who are richly endowed with the glorious wealth of Dharma knowledge, who through reflecting and meditating have actualized the self-aware, absolute reality in shining with 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of the Buddha Dharma. May you, Khenchen Rena Doza, live long. You possess the repository of the essence teachings of past supreme siddhas. You, the precious control, are the refuge of all beings. You are the treasure trove of all the wishful noble. Drabang Kunchu Norbu, I supplicate you. By power of the wealth of our devotion and virtue, and all the deities of the three roots and the gardens, may the life of the Guru, glorious protector, hold firm, and his actions ceaselessly separate in the 10 directions. Your 1,000 arms are the 1,000 Chakravarti kings. Your 1,000 eyes are the 1,000 Buddhas of this fortunate area. I approached it to the Venerable Chinese who shows whatever is needed and subdue those to be subdued. Oi mai ne pe me wa re. 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 Geva de nyur da Jere ze wan zhe jene ro wa jie jian ma le ba de ye za la ge ba yon. This Amitabha prayer. Mao ngon zai zan jie na wan da ye zui jiu boi dui jie jian boi da yon de san bai de jie do nan la zan jie jia zhen ba me gor jie gor de jiang on zai ba de me ba ye de wai jin xie jia wei jian gan de da jian de ne zhen bei jie ma da jie wai jin jie ba mai jiu ba re. De re jie ne nan de xiang do jiu de ge da ge ma lan da bai de zu ju san jie jiang zhen dan jie jie ge men zhe ba xin jie lao de zu de ya da ban zan zhe ya a wan bu da na ya zu wa jian jiu zhen jiu ren bo jie ma jie ba nan jie 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 ba nian ba me ba yang o ne gong de pe wa yo. Thank you so much.